We have the Los Angeles Chargers taking on the Arizona Cardinals in Arizona. This is your Week 7, 2024 prediction and preview video. Hit subscribe if you're new. Also hit the like button. Key note here. There's two Monday Night Football games. This game and the Baltimore Ravens against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This game is exclusively on ESPN+, but there's other ways that you can watch this game as well. If you have NFL Plus Premium, you can watch the game through the phone app as well. But let's talk about the Arizona Cardinals because they are the home team. When you look at the Arizona Cardinals, it's been a very up and down season this season with Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison, and the entire squad. Last week, it was a tough week for the Arizona Cardinals. They lost to the Green Bay Packers 34-13, and Kyler Murray was solid on the day. He was 22 of 32, 214 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown. They did not run the football effectively in that game. And that's the key for the Arizona Cardinals. You're going against a tough defense of the Los Angeles Chargers and one of the best defensive coordinators in the NFL and Coach Jesse for the Los Angeles Chargers. You have to get the run game going because Joey Bosa, if he's able to play in this game with Khalil Mack and Bud Dupree, they're going to try to go back there and pressure Kyler Murray a lot. And the way that Coach Jesse has went against mobile quarterbacks in the past, he will let guys go outside the pocket, but it's a lot of contain there with the linebackers. So you have to be careful with that. Kyler Murray has been a very good quarterback this season when targeting Marvin Harrison Jr., but it was so many miscues in last week's game against the Packers. It was so many fumbles by the running backs, by the wide receivers, and Marvin Harrison Jr. went out early in that game. Marvin Harrison Jr. is on pace to play in this game. He was able to practice today as I record this video. You have to run the football with James Conner and do the same thing with Trey Benson as well. And get those guys involved in the screen game early and often. The offensive line with the Arizona Cardinals has been up and down this season. And I do worry about them when they go against Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, and Bud Dupree. So get the football out as quick as possible. But target Marvin Harrison Jr. You want him to put the Chargers to a situation to where they play a lot of man coverage. Right now, their defense is dealing with a lot of injuries. No Asante Samuel Jr. for this game. And Christian Fulton, he's questionable for this game. Marvin Harrison Jr. has to be the key in terms of wide receiver production. You also have a very good tight end as well in Trey McBride. He was a leading receiver last week, 8 catches with 96 receiving yards. Get him involved early as well. Then the other guys in this team can step up in the receiving room. If you can get Marvin Harrison Jr. going, and the same with Trey McBride and Zay Jones, who is now able to go out there and practice. He's questionable for this game. Get him going in the receiving game, and the same with Michael Wilson. I believe that the Cardinals can put up enough points to possibly go out there and defeat the Los Angeles Chargers. But it's going to come down to the key protection with Kyler Murray and get him on the move as well. Do some read option with him and James Conner. And I'm not saying go out there and run Kyler Murray for the entire game. That's not going to be a winning formula. And we saw what happened last week. They even stopped the run game of Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray had 7 carries for 14 rushing yards. And he also had a fumble as well. So they have to take care of the football in this game. They also have to go out there and be efficient on third down. You don't want to get into a situation to where it's 3rd and 6 and you have to pass the football there. Run the football, get in short yard situations to where it's a 3rd and 3 or a 3rd and 2. Run the football with James Conner and get the football out quick and use more RPOs in this system with Drew Petzing and stop using Kyler Murray as a pocket passer. Get him outside the pocket on some play action bootlegs in this game and slide the offensive line to the right as well. Just buy him enough protection inside the pocket and let him scan the field. When I look at the defense for the Arizona Cardinals, this is going to be a bit tricky right here because we saw what Jordan Love was able to do last week. This team did not have a sack at all. They did come away with an interception. You want to go out there and put a lot of pressure on Justin Herbert, but you don't want to go out there and blitz either because we saw what the Chargers were able to do last week and pretty much for this entire season. It's receiver by committee. You don't want to go out there and play a lot of zone coverage. Justin Herbert is a very good quarterback against zone coverage, and Coach Harbaugh has an emphasis on running the football. Sadly for the Arizona Cardinals, this is one of the weaker defenses in the NFL against the run and against the pass. So it's going to come down to Jonathan Gannon. Can he do enough to go out there and contain the run? And the one thing that bothers me with the Arizona Cardinals, you're going against a very good running back in J.K. Dobbins. He's not just an ordinary running back. He has a lot of explosiveness coming out the backfield, and he's very quick as well. And the one thing with Greg Roman and the Los Angeles Chargers, they're going to run the football until you quit. Now, I will give the Arizona Cardinals a lot of credit. They play every single quarter like it's the last. Even when they got blown out against the Washington Commanders, they're still trying to show some fight in that game. So you have to go out there and stop the run. I'm looking at guys up front. Can Dante Steels be enough? The same with Xavier Collins as well. This is a guy that was selected in the first round. He has to step up in this game and put a lot of pressure on Justin Herbert and stop the run. I looked at a guy like Kazir White, who was questionable. The same with Mac Wilson as well. They have to go out there and show some fight. They may give up big yards here and there, but you have to be focused on the run. And then the next thing you know, it'll be some play action over your head as well. So pay attention to Quentin Johnson and Ladd McConkey as well. And they put Ladd McConkey in motion a lot, and the same with Will Dissly. They'll move those guys behind the line of scrimmage, and the next thing you know, it's an open lane for J.K. Dobbins. So watch out for the motion, stop the run game, and put a lot of pressure on Justin Herbert. If you need to, you can go out there and blitz and leave your cornerbacks in a one-on-one situation, but we saw what happened a couple weeks ago when they did that against Jaden Daniels. It did not work out. And this is a Justin Herbert now that's not dealing with that ankle injury that he was dealing with before he went into the bye week. So the Arizona Cardinals, their defense does bother me, but I believe their offense can go out there and make up for that. Win off of time of possession, put a lot of pressure on Justin Herbert. The Arizona Cardinals, they're a gutsy team. We'll see if Coach Gannon can go out there and have the right game plan for the Los Angeles Chargers. And the Arizona Cardinals have some key wins this season. They got a huge win against the Los Angeles Rams and a very crucial win against the San Francisco 49ers. Do not count this team out. Now let's talk about the Los Angeles Chargers. Right now, this team is dealing with a lot of injuries, but we have seen them over the last couple of weeks still win football games when they're dealing with these injuries. Last week was a very good week for the Chargers as a whole. They came back off the bye week. They defeated the Denver Broncos 23-16. They did not close out the game in the best way. They were letting the Broncos fight their way back in. You can't do that in this game. Justin Herbert on the day looked very good. He was 21-34, 237 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown, 0 interceptions. He did get sacked 3 times. Justin Herbert has to realize not every play has to be a big play. And you don't have to go out there and scramble around in every play. Throw the football away if the wide receiver's not open and if you feel that pressure. Because a couple weeks ago when they went against the Carolina Panthers, he stood in the pocket for too long and he hurt his ankle. And he was gimpy for the next 2 weeks against the Steelers and against the Kansas City Chiefs. He did look better inside and outside the pocket last week, but you want to keep him upright. You also have your 2 top tackles back as well in Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt. So you already know what the key to victory is in this game. And I'm sorry, Arizona Cardinals fans, until the defenders on the Cardinals can prove that they can stop the run the football over and over again and work off a play action on 3rd down. 1st and 2nd down, more than likely will be a run up the middle or a run with a toss play with J.K. Dobbins. And J.K. Dobbins last week averaged 4 yards a carry, 96 rushing yards, 1 rushing touchdown, and one of those rushes went for 20 yards. I will say this as well. The Chargers, they're dealing with a lot of injuries. Gus Edwards is on IR right now. You have Hassan Haskins as the 3rd running back. So more than likely, J.K. Dobbins will get majority of the load. The man had 26 carries last week, which is really crazy to think about. So get him his touches early and often in this game. You do have Joshua Palmer, who is not questionable. He's the only guy that's out there being a full participant in practice. Quentin Johnson was not able to practice today, but he is on pace to play in this game. He's dealing with an injury that he suffered last week. Ladd McConkey was a limited participant in practice, and Coach Harbaugh says more than likely he will be able to play in this game on Monday night. You have to keep that in mind as well. This game is not on Sunday, it's Monday, so it gives them an extra day to go out there and try to figure things out. You can get the football to Ladd McConkey and the same with Quentin Johnson as well, but we all know what the Chargers are going to try to do, run the football. It's going to be very interesting to see what Greg Roman's going to try to do in terms of taking deep shots down the field, because Quentin Johnson has been the most consistent wide receiver with the Chargers this season. He was a 1st-round pick in last year's draft class and not have the strongest rookie season. Comes over to this season, he looks very good. So take deep shots with him down the field if he's in one-on-one situations, and the same with Ladd McConkey as well. If the Chargers do send a 0 blitz like how they did against the Washington Commanders, you can beat them over the top, especially with a quarterback like Justin Herbert. He can drift to his right and throw across his body in the middle of the field. You do want to be careful with those type of plays, because we saw him make a similar play against the Carolina Panthers and he got intercepted by J.C. Horn. The offensive line from tackle to tackle, this is a very solid offensive line. I am worried about Bradley at the center position. I think that you would not want to run behind him for majority of the game. I would run more towards the right side to Joe Alt, because he has looked like a franchise tackle this season. But I expect for the Chargers to go out there, run the football, play efficient football, and just play nasty gritty football at the same time, because that's what Coach Harbaugh loves to do. And Coach Harbaugh also was dealing with an issue last week, a regular heartbeat issue. It was great to see that he was able to come back and coach in the game, but just pay attention to that for the rest of the season. But right now he is okay. And my prayers are with him and his family, because that was a scary scene if you were watching the game. When I look at the defense of the Los Angeles Chargers, one of the best defenses in the NFL, it's clear what you have to do in this game. Make other weapons besides James Conner, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Trey McBride beat you. That's going to be easier said than done. But you have an elite defensive coordinator in Coach Jesse that can go out there, take the run game away, and will try to keep Kyler Murray inside the pocket as much as possible. The one thing that does scare me about this game for the Chargers defense, Kyler Murray is able to go out there and make some crazy plays. We've seen this over the last couple of weeks, even against the San Francisco 49ers. He have went outside the pocket and went for one of the longest rushing touchdowns by a quarterback this season. He is electric inside and outside the pocket, and he has a rocket arm as well. You cannot let Marvin Harrison Jr. get behind you. And at the same time, with a guy like Asante Samuel Jr. was not having the best season this season, but he's still a solid veteran to have in that secondary. With him being out for this game in the next couple of weeks, this could give you a lot of problems. Because right now, Christian Fulton, who is questionable for this game, he's going to be matched up with Marvin Harrison Jr. And I know Marvin Harrison Jr. is a rookie. He's one of the best wide receivers in the game. But you have that front seven. That's going to be the key for the Chargers in this game. With Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, and Bud Dupree. Put a lot of pressure on Kyler Murray up front. Cause distractions and just try to get everything going in front of him. Do not let him be able to fully see the field. We saw the Buffalo Bills do the same thing in week 1, and he still put up a lot of points in week 1. Just put a lot of pressure on Kyler Murray. Blitz if you have to, with some safety help over top as well. You also have a veteran in Derwin James, who has been a solid safety this season. But pay attention to Christian Fulton. You also have Cam Hart as well in the secondary. You have guys like Denzel Perryman that can go out there and make tackles in space. And I do think it's going to be a fun matchup to see him go against running backs like James Conner and Trey Benson. With that being said, I do have the Los Angeles Chargers winning this game, but I have the Chargers winning this game 24-20. The Chargers don't blow teams out. They're one of those teams that go out there, they run the football, they pin their ears back defensively, and they just try to beat you up as much as possible. But I do believe that the Arizona Cardinals, they have the firepower to go out there and they can match up with some of the scoring production of the Los Angeles Chargers if they take care of the football. If the Cardinals cannot take care of the football, this obviously will be a bigger win for the Chargers. But regardless, I do have the Chargers winning this game. I think the defense with the Arizona Cardinals is not good enough, especially in the run department. I could be wrong, but let me know in the comment section below, who do you have winning this game? The Los Angeles Chargers or the Arizona Cardinals? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, I want each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. God bless.